Guess who's back in the motherfucking house with another podcast for you? Yeah, shit. Well, I'm back. I'm back, Jack. I'm having fun. I'm doing a podcast. Do it for you. Do it for me. Heavy metal news. What can we lose? Cavalcade, lots of fun, lots of stories, give me the runs. Sometimes I don't know what to do, so I just play my keyboard. Yes, I do, shit. Do you want to jive? Do you want to jive? Come on now, let's get with the jive. Look out, there's a big beehive. Come on, baby, 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 let's jive. Oh, God damn it, I think that's good. I think that's one of the best. It's kind of hip hop. You know, I told you I've been listening to breakdance music and all of that. Itching to scratch. Itching for a scratch. There's a guy called, what's his name? It's not Tyler the Creator. What's his name? He's a very wholesome fella. He's not like most of those roughneckians with the hip hop. You know, he's very kind of clean cut. He wears the baseball cap. He's got a song called Cocoa Butter Kisses. And he goes, na 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 na, like that. Yeah. Cigarettes on cigarette, my mama think I stink. I got burn holes in my hoodies, all my homies think it stank. I miss my cocoa butter kisses. Sometimes that hip hop will get right to you, you know. Just every once in a while, there's a tune that comes out where you go, okay. Snoop Dogg back in the day, Dr. Dre back in the day, stuff like that. Eminem, you know, now everyone hates Eminem. But he was like, finally someone good that's, you know, a Caucasian. Welcome, welcome one and all. You'll be happy to know this is not the hip-hop Jive Talkin with Shane Diablo. This is the hard rock and heavy metal news version of that. There won't ever be a hip-hop podcast for me. If you want that kind of thing, you have to go somewhere else for it. But we're here to check in with the news. Now, I wasn't very diligent about doing little shorts or anything about the news stories. So, because I've stayed away from the news this week, I wanted to try that out. So I've got a cavalcade of stories that I had nothing, I knew nothing about. And we're going to get into those. We also have an image that I want you to take a look at. So you're going to want to open up your phone or whatever when we get to that. It's Joey Belladonna. He's got the craziest damn glasses on and he's standing in front of the Brady Bunch house. And then we're going to watch Ace Frehley ever so quickly. He's going to actually pop the smoke pod on accident on his guitar during Cold Gin. He should have waited till Shock Me. Of course, we all know that he waits till Shock Me. Then he hits the pop boomer. We're going to get into it now. If you're seeing these hot little plump little cheeks with the beard on them, that is Mr. Wolfgang Van Halen right there. And you can see this guy with his what's it called? Fly sunglasses. Make you look like a fly, kind of Bono style. Kind of like Joey Belladonna's in them. Joey Belladonna's is way more audacious than these. But that right there, standing next to him with that mug, that's the squibbity-doopity-doo ice cream man. Whew. That's David Lee Roth. And Wolfgang is fired back because if you remember, David Lee Roth had said some things. And Wolfgang Van Halen's finally going to, he says, oh yeah, pal? Well, I might be 300 pounds, but I'll tell you what, I'll fight back sometimes. We're going to get into this. And the great thing about Blabbermouth is they're going to recap things, that's what's wonderful. I don't need, I need the recaps. Wolfgang Van Halen on David Lee Roth's disparaging comments. You have to take what he says with a grain of salt. So he's not going to fight back? Wolfgang Van Halen has responded to the disparaging comments that David Lee Roth has made about him in a new interview with the Morning X with Barnes and Leslie. That Barnes? He used to have a buddy, a heavy metal buddy back in the day. We used to tape trade and listen to records. His name was Jimmy Barnes. Kind of just flashed me back there. I don't think this is the guy. Barnes and Leslie, Eddie Van Halen's son, who joined Van Halen at just 15 years old, was asked why he thinks Roth has called him out in such a vile fashion. Do we remember what he said? He said some vile things, I guess. He responded as transcribed by the blabbermouth. I guess I'm honored he even thinks about me as much as he seems to. I guess you have to take what he says with a grain of salt, considering he also said that he wrote Eddie Van Halen's classical instrumentation, Eruption, and came up with the Frankenstein red and white black stripe pattern Eddie Van Halen made famous on his guitar. He said he wrote all those solos that Dad wrote. And Dad wrote them. It wasn't David Lee Roth. Wolfgang continued, I guess that all I can say, I seem to have been born into this Van Halen drama that has come way before me. And I guess now that my dad isn't here to be a target, I guess he went to the next best thing, which is me, his sweet and loving son, Wolfgang. Now he's after me. My dad is no longer a target. During the same chat, Wolfgang shot down the possibility of a Van Halen tribute concert or tour involving him. I don't want to play that music without my dad. And why would you? They can't even muster up a celebration for the damn guy after he passed on to the heavens. How are they going to do, nobody can do that. Although Nuno Bettencourt, hasn't he said, well, I'd toss my hat in the ring for a Van Halen tour. I feel like I could pull that stuff off. Now, in January, Roth posted an audio clip to YouTube in which he blasted Eddie Van Halen's son for allegedly engaging in unpleasant behaviors. Oh, yes, remember. And making poor decisions during Van Halen's final tour. This is what he said. Remember? We'll do a recap here. And this fucking kid, he's complaining the entire tour like I'm not paying enough attention to him on stage. Woo-boo-boo-boo. He's complaining to everybody around me. The business manager, the security guard, the clothing lady. Dave's not paying enough attention to me. Oof. Roth went on to recount an incident at the New York stop of the tour where Wolfie allegedly commandeered a couple of monkeys to go in back behind my back over to the side of the stage and throw out these two great dames. Yeah, remember he was calling them dames? Like he's from the 1930s? And I invited to be my guest to the show. But here was the secret. Is they weren't actually his guests. They were the ones that had the checks. These two hot dames, they had the checks, remember? In fact, you ain't nothing but a hound dog. In fact, you aren't going to believe this shit. This fucking kid, what he doesn't know is these two dames work for the accounting firm that represents him, not me. Whoop-a-boo. But, as usual, he just, like his uncle and his uncle's brother, stiffed them for tickets. Yeah. Remember that? Remember all that? Is Wolfie done there? Is Wolfie's not going to come back? Last year, Wolfgang implied in an interview that David Lee Roth was largely to blame for the proposed Eddie Van Halen tribute concert never materializing. Interesting. He told Rolling Stone at the time, what I can say is that there was an attempt at doing something. But, I don't like to speak negatively about people. I really don't. But there are some people that make it very difficult to do anything when it comes to Van Halen. Anything. After being in Van Halen for a long time, I really have strived to have an environment where there is no walking on eggshells and there's no personalities that you have to deal with. It's just guys having fun. Oh, guys just want to have fun. Fun making music. And just having a good time. But, for my time in Van Halen, there was always some stuff that gets in the way for just making music and having a good time. And I think that's what happened. Yeah, I think we'll move on from that. But these guys aren't going to be getting together for Christmas dinners. Okay, so that's just what it's going to be. Kerry King, Phil Demmel. Listen to this. Okay, Slayer. They announced that they're going to be playing 4 or 5 shows. She needs those handbags. All the gals in Slayer need nice handbags. But Phil Demmel had no idea. Remember, he's the new guitar player that's going to be over there in Kerry King's band, which he, like Mike Buchanan said, just totally missed the mark with the name and should have called it Kingslayer. That still sits with me. But he was caught off guard by the whole damn thing. I want to hear what he's got to say. He says, I didn't know anything about it. All right, next story. I'm just kidding. Here we go. Phil Demmel, who is a member of Kerry King's solo band, says that he was caught off guard by the recent announcement that Slayer was reuniting for several festival shows this year. 5 years after Slayer played their last concert of what was being billed as the band's farewell tour, and just weeks after the Slayer guitarist unveiled the details of his solo project, Kerry and his longtime bandmates announced that they will play at the Aftershock, Riot Festival, and Louder Than Life festivals in September and October. Holy shit, you guys. Remember, Kerry King was saying, you're going to see my band. I'm going to be playing Riot Fest or something like that. Did they go, well, how about you just swing Slayer? Do you think you could round them up? I'm wondering, guys. Asked in a new interview with Good Company if it's weird for Slayer to have an announcement, to have announced the band's comeback so soon after King's solo project was first publicly revealed. Demmel said as transcribed, yeah, it caught me off guard. I didn't know anything about it. To have Slayer gig announced before we've even played a show with Kerry King's solo band was really weird to me. He's going to say sweet things, though. He's a badass, isn't he? Phil don't need nothing for nobody. Everybody wants him, right? Everybody wants him. Everybody wants him. He added, Slayer's none of my business. That's why, and that's when's, it's none of my business. The whys and the whens, it's none of my business. I had questions when I first heard Slayer was coming back, and they were answered. And I'm 100% at peace and good with everything that's happening. Yeah. When Kerry's solo project was first announced, King told Rolling Stone, remember he got in there? Finally got in the Rolling Stone. That he was almost positive he and Slayer bassist vocalist Tom Araya would never resurrect the band. I can pretty much 100% say no, because I have a new outlet, okay? I have a new outlet, and it's not Slayer, but it sounds like Slayer. King said of the potential Slayer reunion, the lineup of Slayer's comeback will be, we know this, Araya, King, Gary Holt, Exodus on guitar, and Paul Bostaph. The Slayer guitarist debut album. Okay, guys, here's some fresh news for you. Oh, is this the first time we're here? I'm learning the title of the record. The Slayer guitarist debut solo album, From Hell I Rise, will be released on May 17th via Raining Phoenix Music. I've never heard of that. I'm surprised Metal Blade or someone didn't jump all over that shit right away. This is not to say bad things about Raining Phoenix Music. Hey, you got to go where the green beans are, baby. Maybe Brian Slagle said, "Hey, I'll kick you this much," and Raining Phoenix said, "Oh yeah, that's child's play." All material on the LP was written by the 59-year-old musician who was accompanied during the recording sessions by Phil Demmel, Paul Bostaph, bassist Kyle Sanders of Hell Yeah, and vocalist Mark Osigueda of Death Angel. I saw a story too about, what's his name? The fellow on the drums, Death Angel. He damn near died of COVID. I mean, he was in the hospital. But I saw a brief snippet story of him talking about how stoked they are for the new Death Angel shit. They said it sounds great. Helming the sessions at Henson Recording Studio in Los Angeles last year was producer Josh Wilbur, who has previously worked with Korn, Lamb of God, Avenged Sevenfold, and Bad Religion. I was going to try and see how we could spin that into all food groups. Corn, lamb, legs, something. I don't know. Oh, is it a video? Shit, I didn't see that. In an Instagram live video, Demmel spoke about how he ended up being approached to join Kerry King's new band. He said, the way this came about on my end was Slayer was on its way through the San Francisco Bay Area during the band's farewell tour, and they played San Jose. I think it was with maybe Napalm Death opened. Holy shit, that'd be good. And the Lamb of God, maybe even Testament played. I think it was maybe the last day of the leg of the tour, and this was maybe the summer of 2018, and I knew that I was on my way out of Machine Head, and I had approached Kerry kind of like, hey, what are you doing after Slayer ends? Huh. What do you got going on? And he was kind of like, I'm sure I'm going to keep playing with Paul. I'm probably going to ask then Slayer guitarist Gary Holt to play with me in the new band as well. Oh, so you're just gonna cut Tom Araya like he's a sore thumb or something. If they all come back and keep playing, people start saying, well, what did Tom do? And that was about it. And so, forward to my announcing that I was quitting Machine Head in September 2018, and the same day, Kerry shoots me a text like toodle toot, dee deep deep on his Blueberry. Says, that's why you were asking me what I was doing next. So it was no secret to Kerry that was what I was interested in doing after, for sure. And when the call came to fill in for Gary at several Slayer shows in Europe in December 2018, and the way I remember that now, and the way that I came through in that spot really showed those guys a lot. So Kerry and me, I remember we at the Raiders game. We went to the Raiders against Denver, which was probably 2019. That he 2019 that he said, hey, this is what I'm thinking. Where he, Jesus, guys. My eyes keep popping around at other words that I want to read before I spit out the ones. You know what I'm saying? And where he committed to being in the band. So it was pretty fucking awesome, if you don't mind me saying. Let's get in old Jane Simmons here. Jane Simmons. Beautiful. Look at that. It's a rainbow delight it's just awesome. It's like a horseshoe. Gene Simmons on the Avatars. He says, what I've seen will blow your mind. And this is blowing our minds, isn't it? You got Gene Simmons over here, and then you've got the Avatar picture of the Kiss, but clearly Tommy Thayer, clearly Eric Singer in that makeup. So, the first 10 records, would that be right? 10 records? The first 10 records were the faces that wore those. Made those records famous. Made everything famous. People that go to the shows in 2023 are pretending in their hearts and minds that it's the two old guys. They're going to be forever immortalized in the Avatars. Interesting. Gene Simmons, what I've seen will blow your mind. So we'll give him the benefit of the doubt here, for crying out loud. He says what he's seen is going to blow our minds. I still think we're 10 years away from kick-ass, CGI stuff, right? Jane Simmons says that he has seen what he has seen of the Kiss avatars will blow your minds. The technology being used for the Kiss avatar originally developed for the ABBA Voyage. We know this. It's a show that they have in London, England. Will allow Kiss to stay on the road in retirement. The Kiss avatars were created by Industrial Light and Magic. That's where you see, you're watching Lord of the Rings. Well, guess what? Those aren't real goddamn goblins and spooksters that are running through those woods. That is done over at ILM, Industrial Light and Magic. And were financed, produced by Swedish company Pop House Entertainment, which is behind the ABBA Voyage. Simmons addressed the Kiss avatars in a new interview with Artists on Record starring Adika live. That's the whole name of that thing. Artists on Record starring Adika live. Adika's going to ask here, regarding what the Avatar show will look like, he said, look, part of the fun of Christmas is when you open your presents. You're shocked and surprised and hopefully delighted. So why would I tell you in February what you're going to get for Christmas? He's so good with those little callbacks or whatever he does, right? He continues, there's so much hard work being done behind the scenes. And what I've seen will blow your mind. So in a very real way, our end is really like the caterpillar becoming the butterfly. Boom, boom. Boom, boom. Pew, 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 pew. What was that? Goodbye, horses. The end is the beginning. So that's what he's saying. A caterpillar, when they come out of the thing, they come out of the cocoon, they're a caterpillar. No, when they go into the cocoon, they're a caterpillar. When they break free of the cocoon, they become the butterfly. That is what he's saying. The end is the beginning. Long after they are in their own Kiss coffins, and believe you me, they will be in their own Kiss coffins. And they will make sure, Gene will make sure that there was an ad or a op-ed in one of the newspapers that says Gene Simmons open. They'll show the open casket. He'll be laying in the casket. It'll be a Kiss casket, and they'll say now available for $899.99. This past December, Simmons said that about $200 million is being invested into the Kiss Avatar show. Boy, you better hope that bangs off, buddy. Unlike the ABBA Voyage show, which recreates a 1970s-era ABBA concert in a custom-built London arena, that's what you should do. Kiss avatars that appeared at the band's final concert in New York on December 2nd, 2023, will not be as grounded in reality as ABBA's digital replicas. According to the BBC News, the Kiss avatars we'll see the band appear as fantasy-based superheroes who are 8 feet tall, breathing fire and shooting electricity from their fingers while floating above the audience. See, I don't want to see that. I don't want to see Scooby-Doo Kiss. I want to go in and watch Kiss from 1976 Wicked fucking Lester play. So I would say before 76, 70, 75, 74. I want to see fucking Wicked Lester in the clubs. That's what I want to see. People want to go vintage. They want to go back in time. I don't need to see you flying around and Gene Simmons turn into a giant bat. I digress, okay? I'm sorry. No details have been announced yet for Kiss's plans with the band's avatars. We're going to figure it out after the tour. Pop House CEO Per Sundin, that's his name, Per Sundin, said prior to the final show at Madison Square Garden, it is a Kiss concert.
in the future. It is a rock opera. It is a musical and a story and adventure.
You know they're going to do The Elder, dude. You know they're going to do The Elder. It'll be the best place to take a nap in your life. If they do that and they travel the country, we're doing The Elder, you just get a great nap. There's a couple good tunes on that, right? I mean, I is pretty good tune. Anyways, sorry. These 4 individuals already have superpowers. We want to be open as possible. The avatars will now be available for live shows. Is this okay? Oh, I was hoping this little video down here might be that little clip of the. Is this one it? I want to see the avatars. This says a new era begins. Is that it?
Kiss Army!
No.
Your love, your
Oh, no. Oh,
has made us immortal!
I don't want to watch all this, guys, because they probably copyrighted this too. Yeah, see, you're flying through space and shit. Hurry up.
The new Kiss era starts now!
I mean,
Wanna rock and roll on?
I just wouldn't watch it. I mean, I wouldn't do it. Guys, we're going to get into this. We must announce this because I absolutely love Voivod. I was really late to Voivod's music. I mean, I dabbled in it back in the 90s or whatever, but I didn't know much about it. I have been going deeper and deeper into the wormhole that is Voivod, and Voivod's long-awaited official documentary, We Are Connected, to premiere at festivals this summer. This will be a documentary I cannot wait to watch because I love documentaries. And I love music documentaries. And Voivod's just one of them bands where you either like them or you don't. You don't, it seems to me like for the most part, people don't zap over for one tune. It's like you like them or you don't, right? So I wanted to get into this and find out what's going on with it and when this documentary will be available for our eyes. Because now they're just going to the big saucy festivals, the hip and cool things, right? Canadian prog metal stalwarts, Voivod, have launched a new Kickstarter campaign, to help them finance their official documentary film. Oh, all right. Well, if you got to go and kick it out, I'm going to kick something. I thought maybe a nice big company was going to finally do something with them. Like Netflix or something. Why can't Netflix do a Voivod documentary? From unlikely origins in North Quebec, at the height of the Cold War, Voivod's post-apocalyptic sci-fi aesthetic, fueled by a youth obsession with their instruments, took them from underground success to sharing tours and stages with Iron Maiden, Rush, and Metallica. There were, of course, highs and lows throughout the 40 years, from major label support and Billboard recognized to seismic lineup changes, and an event many critics claim to be the end of Voivod, the death of co-founding guitarist and composer Dennis Piggy D'Amour. I always call him Piggy. I can't say these names that have stuff in them. Little, whatever they are. Dennis, Piggy, rest in peace. Voivod has joined forces with metal film director Philippe Belalcazar to make the band's official documentary, We Are Connected. Voivod states, "Our latest Kickstarter campaign is aimed at bringing the epic story of Voivod to the big screen with a theatrical cut set to premium..." Oh, I just had a great idea. If it was like a concert film, a documentary with a concert film where they interlay music in there and stuff. theatrical cut to premiere at festivals and events this summer. Thanks to your unwavering support, we've finished filming and editing, and now we're diving deep into post-production to create a masterpiece worthy of Voivodians across the globe. But that's not all. As a token of our gratitude, we're offering limited-run premium t-shirts, each featuring unique artwork by the legendary OA in collaboration with Philippe. Chewy's shirt, a rare ink drawing from the Outer Limits era 1993, previously unseen and now brought to life. Oh, there's each shirt, each person. Snake and Rocky shirts, a 2002 ink masterpiece featured in the booklet of the self-titled 2003 album. And Away's shirt, the iconic Mercury symbol, inked in 1997 for the Phobos booklet. By backing our campaign, you're not just helping us cross the finish line for the documentary, you're securing a piece of Voivod lore for yourself. Don't miss out. I'm doing it for the shirt. I want a fucking shirt. How much do you got to donate? I mean, I can't do it. I want the shirt, but I can't do it if it's going to be like a lot of money. I'm a poor son of a bitch. Don't miss out on the unique opportunity to wear your Voivod pride and be a part of musical history. Belalcazar has a proven record of delivering quality productions to millions of metal fans around the world. Most recently, the critically acclaimed Chuck Schuldiner. What? Did I watch that? It's the Chuck Schuldiner documentary, Death by Metal. I'm pretty sure that title sounds familiar to me. It's pretty long too, isn't it? Voivod is currently on the road in North America with Prong. Voivod is touring in support of its latest album, Morgoth Tales, which was released via Century Media, The Orchard, Sony Music. The band's 2022 release, Synchro Anarchy, garnered significant acclaim. It's a great record. Winning the 2023 Juno Award for Best Hard Rock Metal Album in Canada. Once more recorded and mixed by Francis Perron at Radic Art Studio. Mastered by... okay, we're not going to get into that, guys. Let's just read this little clip here. Voivod is a Canadian heavy metal band from Yonge, Quebec. Their musical style has changed several times since the band origin in the early 1980s. Starting out as a speed metal band, Voivod have added a mix of progressive metal and thrash metal to create their own unique metal style and are credited as one of the big four Canadian thrash metal bands, along with Sacrifice, Razor, and Annihilator. They are. I didn't know all of those, the big four in Canada. I mean, we've done all these bands on the channel, but they are considered by many as one of the most influential metal bands from the 80s, influencing and gaining praise from multiple bands from across numerous genres. Let's look at Joey Belladonna really quick. And look at this guy. No, he's not a serial killer. What is this? Hillary and Donna and Frank? What was the Natural Born Killers? You know someone's out there going, what the fuck are those dudes doing over there? I guess this is the Brady Bunch house behind him. That's his lovely wife. This whole story here is basically about him in the recording studio. He said, hey, guy, I think he took this picture of him in front of the Brady Bunch house, which is that the Brady Bunch house? It doesn't look good. It doesn't look anything like I remember it. I'd need those cones set up in the driveway, you know, the station wagon there, and Greg. You know, remember that episode with the safety cones and the egg, and they're learning how to drive? It's Marcia. Marcia and Greg are going to have a battle royale to see who's the better drivers. I'd need to see this yard cleaned up a lot to know if that's the house or not. But anyways, look at him. God love him. Maybe he rode a motorcycle. Those look like goggles, kind of. Now let's watch Ace Frehley. We do have your comments, by the way. Don't fret. Don't be, if you're having a small panic attack, don't freak out. We got your comments. But apparently Ace Frehley hit his smoke pod, on the wrong song, I guess. Let's see. Oh! You blew your load. You blew it. He's like, God, you blew it. Yeah, he's fanning that smoke away. You don't want... Oh. Oh, Ace. Ace don't care. You know, he's laid back, but he's just like, fuck. That guitar is specifically made for that song, right? Because he's tapping everyone, kind of going, guys, I've done boofed it. What did you do, Ace? Well, what I've done here is I know that for the encore, because we always do Shock Me on the encore, that's when I would do my pop smoker. I would pop the smoker. But what I've done here is I've hit it during Cold Gin. Just alerting everybody. Is all I need. I think he was wearing that same shirt when I signed back in 1988. Now, guys, this is 3/3/24 that this video, and is that the same feller? This is where the hot dog goes. Is that him back there? Because I'm kind of wondering. Let's get into your comments. That's right. It's the best time. It's vacation in your mind time. This is your response portion of this whole damn thing. This whole shit show. We get down there, we read your opinions on things. And by the way, if you want to be part of that, all you got to do is comment on the YouTube video. I do believe on Spotify you can watch the video version of it as well, or listen. But if you want to be part of the episodes, you get into the comments over there. We got Mike Buchanan. He's right up here. He's very thorough and he's ready to go. He's got movies for us. He's got jokes for us. He's got it all. On this week's movies that are bad, but we love them anyway, Sweet Home, 1989, a Japanese horror film. I like Japanese horror films. If you're not aware of this movie and the significance of it, then you are in for a treat. If you were a gamer back in the late 80s, then you might be familiar with Sweet Home. I'm not. But I'm not really a gamer. I was into Super Mario Brothers at the 7-Eleven or whatnot. And then I got hooked on it, so I had to get a Nintendo so I could beat it. And then I got Mario 3. But after that, I was kind of out. While not a global sensation by any means, Sweet Home became the inspiration for Resident Evil. The game makers of Resident Evil had intended to remake Sweet Home, but ended up using some of the storyline and build a new universe. The movie follows a small film crew as they visit an old abandoned mansion. Before we get any further, I'll put my little mouse cursor right there so I don't lose my spot. What was that game? Silent Hill? I used to watch my kid play that. That was creepy as shit. And then there was another one, too, where he had a camera. And he had to take pictures in the dark and find his way around. God damn. where they encounter paranormal events. This is that film crew, small film crew, and visits an old abandoned mansion where they encounter paranormal events and the presence of a poltergeist. If you are into Japanese film, then this one is a must. But beware. You will need to read subtitles as the movie is in Japanese. I'm fine with Japanese subtitles because they're slow. They go, and then it's just words for 15 minutes. Anything else, Korean, in Chinese, anything else, I cannot read the subtitles fast enough. Japanese, got it. And I hope that wasn't racist in any way. I did not mean that in any way. For this one, he's going to work his taglines. Here we go. But beware, you will need to read subtitles as the movie is in Japanese. For this one, turn off the lights. Grab your favorite beverage. Sit in your favorite chair. Pop some popcorn and press play. Oh, that's fantastic right there. Mike Buchanan says, at this point, I think Metallica could get on stage and do a thrash version of the ABC song, and everyone would lose their minds, including me. I'll wait until the video hits YouTube before I watch, while I respect... Okay. So he's talking Elton John, Metallica, all that. I'll wait until the video hits YouTube before I watch. While I respect Elton, this isn't something that interests me. As far as Garth goes, I'm going to tap dance around this as to do with politics. Okay. He refused to boycott a certain beverage. See, I always thought it was some kind of murder stuff because the way Tom Segura goes on about him, there's something weird, like creepy going on. I would be very interested in reading Alex's book. Okay, he's onto that. He refused to boycott a certain beverage. Okay. Jesus Christ. I would be very interested in reading Alex's book. This is Alex Van Halen's book, but as far as Alex goes, he's always been a very private person. He always seemed a little shy. It seemed like he would get loud and obnoxious when his brother was close, but he was never a dude that... Do you ever remember seeing him in any interviews where they're going, Alex, what do you... He just says, man, I just bang the drums, baby. Don't ask me no questions. I'll tell you no lies. Just don't ask me any questions. I'll tell you no lies. Still Mike Buchanan here. In my opinion, Sepultura hasn't been the same since the Cavalera brothers left the band. I've never really been a huge fan of the band, but have liked some of their music over the years. All right. Yes, and that's when I stopped. It was, I don't know what album that was. Arise. It's a Roots, Bloody Roots. I can't quite remember where they stopped, but that's where I stopped too, and I didn't really pay too much attention. I went Soulfly. What? Oh, Max is over there. I'm thinking that as long as the artists sing most of what they do live and rely on backing tracks as a way to improve the experience, why not? Yeah. It used to be all lumped in. Now we're starting to separate. Now everyone's starting to say, well, backing tracks and lipping is two different kinds of things. If you're using backing tracks for that to fill up that sound, then that's okay. The lip syncing is never okay, right? That's where we're coming down. Anyone else think Shane should start up a new segment called Magic with Shaney D? Anyone? Really, Magic? When I was a kid, I had a couple of them boxes, that your parents would get you. I saw, we had HBO, so I saw that Dennis. I mean, no one would recognize him now. I guarantee you, most people go, I don't know who the hell this dude was. But he got a mustache and long hair and his name. But I got into a little bit of magicianry back then. But I don't know what this is reference to, but I'll do magic if you guys watch it. Having listened to the Mandrake Project, we got a review here. Having listened to the Mandrake Project, I will say Bruce did a pretty good job. Oh, I heard another tune today from it called something about this is where the dead something. There's many doors to hell or something. I suppose that if he comes to town, I'll go see the show. Well, he's going to have all them screens. He's going to have all these screens with him. Mike Buchanan says, me over here sitting patiently waiting for the new Priest album to drop. Invisible Shield, he's talking. Dude, it's getting harder every day. I've listened to the first single, but have purposely avoided all other singles, really, as I want to listen to the full album as a first listen. Yep. It's like I did with that Atrophy song. I had to sit on that. It's like I wanted to hit play on that damn thing so bad, but I had to wait for the first listen. So that's great. You're gonna hit it. Boom. You know, I do that from time to time, even weekly. I'll what's this saying? My malware bites is popping up saying my protection score's gone down. Shut that. I don't want to look at that. But yeah, do that. You'll love it. It'll be great. I mean, they're already, 3 for 3? It's going to be pretty good. They said this tour, too. Robert Halford was talking about the tour, and they said it's going to be hella visual, and you're going to leave the Invisible Shield tour remembering a show experience. That's what he says. That's Robert. And now, it's Mike Buchanan's Jive Talkin' Jokes of the Week. So, my buddy loves snails, and he just bought a fast, expensive sports car with a big red S painted on both sides. So now, when he drives by, I say, look at the S car go. Oh, yeah. What did they do to the pastor who ate too much chili? They made him sit in his own pew. That's a good one. If you know what a pew is, that's the little wooden benches they sit on and sing, oh, Jesus, come and save me. Oh, what was that tune? I have my alarm clock set to a Christian radio station. But it's like they go, nope, we're never going to play a hit song. It's like this. I go between this country station that says, we will never play a hit. I don't care what you pay us, we'll never play a hit. This Christian radio station's the same, but the same song pops on every morning. I don't know the name of it. It's when the devil come and I'm gonna get him, I'm gonna praise the Lord. When the devil come and I'm gonna get him, I'm gonna praise the Lord. And I'm just like, oh, I gotta get up and, you need something. I mean, I don't mind Christian metal, but, some of that other stuff is just not my cup of tea. This isn't like metal or hard rock even. This is kind of, it's not even a gospel even. It's like almost bad 80s. I don't know. Anywho. Dude, your fingers have fingertips, but your toes don't have toe tips, yet you can tiptoe, but not tip finger. Something to think about. I was going to nail a shelf to my wall, but then I thought, screw it. Yeah. If you're using screws, buddy, you gotta get them in the joints. You gotta get them in the two-by-fours. I'm watching Maine Cabin Masters or something like that. It's this gaggle of people that redo cabins in Maine. So I think I know a thing or two about where to put a screw in the wall. And finally, in today's news, tornado rips through local cow farm. It was an utter disaster. Bang! There you go. Anthony coming in. Every time I say his name, I want to bust into some Billy Joel. You should definitely record this opening song. Not kidding. These songs are getting better every damn week. You rock, Shane D. Keep them coming. Dash, dash, dash. Anthony. Thank you. And he got a thumb up, so someone agrees with him on that. Zayas. Garth Brooks chose the trans community over bigotry when the furor over Bud Light erupted. Oh, okay. That cost him a few fans, I guess. So he kept drinking Bud Light. I'm not going to say the name again because if they're going to pay me, they're going to pay me money. Please send the check to me now. I need it. But yeah, okay, I got you on that. And then would you look right there? My friends, Sink and Stanley. Do you remember from the last episode? Sink and Stanley, I said they cornered the market on the investigatory lip syncing situation. They call them out. They go and meet these people. Blackie Lawless, that story broke. Sink and Stanley. Well, there's our pal right there. The Sync crew. Sink and Stanley right there. Unless 2332, that's kind of... Sync that shit up. Shane, you rule, sir. That is from Sink and Stanley. They said, I rule. Sanguine coming in. You're going to have to put out a best of Jive Casio jam soon. That was Jive-tacular. The emotion, the jive, I will cry, damn it. Alan Parsons, you jive the jive of the eons. Hell yeah. I listened to that song. That song popped on. I can read your mind. What is it? I can't think of the title of it, but Eye of the Sky. And you know those songs that you hear and just instantly you kind of melt and you go, oh yeah. Another one's Abracadabra by Steve Miller Band. I love that song. Another one's I Know There's Something Going On from Frida from ABBA. There's a callback to earlier story when they mentioned the Avatar ABBA. But that was Frida, and she's got a song called I Know There's Something Going On. Great tune. Another one from, I don't know if it's Fleetwood Mac or Christy McVie. I always loved her voice. And now I can't remember the song, but it's one of her big hits. Done a little crazy, living in my home. You better make a move before you break my heart. Oh, I want to be with you everywhere. Just some of them damn songs like that, they just hit you. I know my metal cred has went right out the shitter. Like, he fucking said he liked Napalm Death, dude. And now he's singing Christy fucking McVie? Fuck that. Cool, dude. The cool dude's here. Thanks for the oh, this is one of the bros from the Sync Army. Look at that. The Sync and Stanley. Thanks for the love to the Sync Army, Shane. I went to the art gallery with Mr. Sync and Stanley and got a pic with Paul wearing my Sync Army shirt. Please post that up, please. I'm having a full-on deja vu right now with that comment where I said, please post that picture. Miss Althea coming in here. I kind of got scatterbrained there for a minute because I was thinking maybe you shouldn't post that fucking picture. Because if they put one of them kind of silly goofs on him with audio or something, he might fuck. Anyways, guys, I need to pop my other drink here. You know, I'm so rudely, Miss Althea's up next, and I'm so rudely doing this before I've announced that. Miss Althea's coming up here. She says, the dumbstruck fool says, Metallica, we're talking Metallica here. It's like that classic Sesame Street tune. One of these things is not like the other. Those guys at the Library of Congress with the likes of Sir Elton John, Garth Brooks, and Billy Porter, among others, question mark. What's next? Are they going to host the Grammys? Boy, that'd be something, right? Letting Lars Ulrich loose to do a monologue? I would find it hilarious if it turns out to be a PBS Pledge Week when the program airs. And no, Elton and Bernie were never a couple. Only besties and songwriting partners. That's what I thought. I thought they never romantically got together, but that guy Taupin was basically the lyricist, right? He wrote all those beautiful lyrics and that we all know and love. Someone now said, see, dude, he fucking said Alan fucking Parson, Christy McVie, Frida, dude, and now he's fucking talking about, he says he liked Elton John? Oh, dude. They're out there. Believe you me, they're out there. Miss Althea on Alex Van Halen. The story was a little lost on me because I found the photo of him that accompanied the piece to be extremely disturbing. He literally looked like a classic alien that just stepped out of the mothership at the end of the Close Encounters of the Third Kind. That is weird, though, isn't that? When the lights come and you see them all kind of come barreling out. Isn't that after I'm trying to remember that. When they all run out, that's when they're grabbing the people to take them on to the ship, right? Spoiler alert. If you haven't seen that movie, it's 40 years old. Miss Althea on the backing track debate. Independent of Jeff Tate looking like a pimp in that photo, seems like the topic is becoming more of a question or fact even, of what works best for the rock metal vocalists that are no longer in their prime and making allowances to continue to perform at their best now. At least more and more of them are owning up to it. And I do totally agree there is a difference between an assist from a backing track and an outright lip sync. Yeah. My brain kind of went off to Don Dokken there for a minute. I was kind of thinking, I wonder what that old chap could do in those regards. Miss Althea on the Judas Priest Global Listening Party. They had me at themed cocktails. I don't know about this music, but oh, these drinks. Miss Althea says, Mike B having the nerve to throw out Howard the Duck and Thomas Dolby contributing to the soundtrack, question mark. It was so bad that it was good that it was bad. Very good there. There's your heart, Miss Althea. Was it that Thomas Dolby did the soundtrack to that? John coming in here. Screw Metallica. Priest rules. Well, you get a heart. Either way, whether I disagree with you or do not disagree with you, sir, you get a heart, okay? But I do listen. I listen to a hell of a lot more. I'd be interested in that question from you guys. Who do you listen to more? I listen to a hell of a lot of Priest. I always seem to bounce right back to Screaming for Vengeance or British Steel or Defenders of the Faith or sometimes even Turbo. Carolina. Carolina Slim Dude? Is that the name? That intro sounds like something straight out of Napoleon Dynamite. Well, thanks. Evil Eyes coming in here. My friend went metal detecting, found a priceless brooch. Gave the museum 30,000 pounds. He got 15,000 pounds. Had to give he's talking about that thing. All right, here we go, guys. I'm putting this into reference because he's talking about it. I mentioned the fact that I had heard from a Canadian pal that I work with that in England, because he's fascinated with the English, that if you find any kind of jewels or anything on any property in England, you are to return it to the crown. You are to return it to the what's he, King Charles now, because what's her name, Elizabeth, Queen Elizabeth has went to the heavenly place, the mortal realm, Vector 7, the multiverse. So this is what Evil Eyes says. My friend went metal detecting, found a priceless brooch, gave the museum 30,000 pounds. He got 15,000 and had to give farmer 15,000. The highest payout is 30,000 for a priceless artifact in England. So they'll pay you for it, is what you're saying, is if you find it, then you're going to get 30,000. That's the highest they'll go. So if you find something that's worth a couple million, they'll go, you return it to us, jolly old chap, and we'll give you 30,000 pounds, dear sir. Very good, guys. Get out there, seize the day, seize the weekend, guys, gals, everyone. I watched an episode, one of them seasons of Survivor where, what's his name? The host, he said that to everyone. He says, hey, I've always used the term guys. I say, come on out, guys. They're like, should I stop using that? And they said, yes. And then a few episodes later, a gay guy was like, no, I don't think you should because it's part of the group of people. I don't know what that even means. Why I'm even telling you that. It's okay to say guys. It's a colloquialism. It means everybody. It's like saying dogs. All right, dogs. Keep it on up. It can be any kind, right? All right. I want you to get out there. I want you to seize the day, seize the weekend, do the thing, breathe the deepness. Look in that mirror and tell yourself, you know what? God damn it, I'm me and I'm perfectly good. Doesn't matter if I got a pock mark or a chubby cheek or a missing a leg or an eye or my teeth or whatever. I'm me. Nobody else. Can't be duplicated. Can't be printed out like an AI. Can't be, you are one of a kind. And you only live in once. And imagine the idea of millions of spermatozoids going over out of your daddy into your mama. And you happen to be the one out of those millions that hits that egg, and then you're grown into who you are right this very moment. And you're thinking, you tell me that isn't special? You telling me 1 in a trillion zillion chances of you spinning around on a rock floating through the multiverses? You're not original? You need to stop thinking that way about yourself. Let's do this. I think it's my fingers. I need to figure out other things to do with my... Oh, I like it. We jived. We thrived. We made love in the podcast all night long. We had a good time and we did some heavy metal news. We saw Ace Frehley smoke his guitar. He did it during cold gin. It was such a sin because he gotta do it during Shock Me, Make Me Feel Better. Shock me, hold on to mama's leather. Jive me, we can come together. Jive me, hold on to my sweater, 'cause I wanna go fight
and fight this motherfucker now.